So I was just thinking about what year in the 80s had the best songs. I mean, that is a hard one because every single year in the 1980s had amazing songs. It's impossible to figure out because everybody's opinion is going to be a little bit different. Like, I know for me, I feel like the music got really good in the mid 80s. Now, there was a lot of great songs in 80, 81, 82. Of course, it was the best decade for music. I don't care what you say. But I feel like the mid 80s is when it started getting really good. And then I feel like the sweet spot for 80s music was like 87, 88. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to disagree with that. But again, that's why it's impossible to really figure out which year had the best music because everyone's taste and opinions are going to be a little bit different. So what I want to do today is talk about songs that are turning 40 years old this year. Now, this video might get a little emotional for some of you. It'll probably make you feel happy. Hopefully, it'll bring back some memories. Hopefully, some good memories, maybe some bad memories. But it's probably also going to make some of you feel sad because you're going to realize that some of these songs that it feels like just yesterday you were having good times listening to these songs, but they're now turning 40 years old. All right, I've put together a little list here on the tablet, and we're going to be listening to the songs through the Bluetooth Boombox Deluxe. I don't know how much of each song I'm going to be able to play for you before I get a copyright claim. I'm a little scared about doing this video. I mean, the 80s is the decade of music, and I want to do more videos about music, but it's just so hard because you play just a little bit of a song and you get hit with a copyright claim. So I'm probably going to only be able to play a few seconds of each song. I have a feeling I'm still going to get a copyright claim, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get started. All right, I'm sure you all recognize it right away. Sunglasses at Night, Corey Hart, an 80s classic. Did you all recognize it already? Depeche Mode, People Are People. They've, gone beyond the 80s. They're still going strong, but some of their biggest hits were in the 80s. That is one of my favorites. Now, how many of you just heard that and you flashed back to junior high or high school, putting on those acid-washed Guess jeans and getting their hair as high as they can with the Aquanet, getting ready to go hang out at the mall on a Friday night with this playing on the radio in the background? You Might Think by The Cars, a great song and also a great music video. Hall & Oates, so many hits, so many great songs. They broke our hearts in 2024 by splitting up and suing each other. I mean, what has the world come to when Hall & Oates are suing each other? I mean, just that intro alone, like you can be doing anything. And when you hear that intro, you gotta stop and dance. If you don't know what that is General Public, Tenderness. Such a fun song. I have a feeling that this next one might be a little upsetting for some of you. Get ready. Here it comes. You recognize it? I'm just thinking, when you heard that kick in, it might have reminded you of when you were sitting in your bedroom with your heavy metal posters on the wall. You got this song cranked up and you're thinking to yourself that you're not going to take any more crap from your parents or your teachers. And now 40 years has gone by and you are the parents and you are the teachers. You probably all already know what this is just from that intro. That's right, Ghostbusters is 40 years old this year. Not just the song, but that means the movie is also 40 years old. All right, we got another one that might be a little triggering for some of you old-time rockers. You're gonna know what it is just from the drums in the beginning. Here comes Eddie. The album, 1984, turns 40 years old this year. So that means not only is Hot for Teacher 40 years old, but also Panama, Jump, and a whole bunch of other great songs. Like a Virgin, Madonna. Again, not just the song, but the entire album turns 40 this year. So Material Girl, Like a Virgin, Angel, Dress You Up. All right, the battery died here on the boombox, but we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna play the songs directly from the tablet. I think this might be louder than the boombox anyway, so no big deal. Obsession, Animotion. Okay, now you might think you know what this is. You probably are thinking Michael Jackson. But can you hear the difference? That is, of course, not Michael Jackson, but Weird Al doing Eat It. I think that might be his first really big hit, right? Is that the song that introduced a lot of us to Weird Al? This is another one. Gotta crank up the radio. Every time it comes on, you gotta stop and dance and sing along. Such a good song. How can you hear this song and not want to dance? One of my favorite songs by the Go-Go's, Head Over Heels. You recognize this one? It is not No Doubt. It is Talk Talk doing It's My Life. Some of you might have thought that Gwen Stefani wrote this song. I really hope none of you thought that. Duran Duran, Reflex. Oh my gosh. So many songs on this list that I need to crank up the radio when I hear it. I never get tired of this song. Let's hear it for the boy, Deniece Williams, from the Footloose soundtrack, which means not only is this song 40 years old, but also the movie Footloose. Rat, Round and Round, another one that might have made some of you get sad right now. You're thinking about how you used to tease your hair and now maybe you don't have any hair. Do you recognize it from the drum beat? This is before hip hop music was introduced to the mainstream. So this was a lot of people's first time hearing rap music. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends. Bruce Springsteen, Dancing in the Dark from the Born in the USA album. So that means also the Born in the USA album turns 40, including the song Born in the USA. But Dancing in the Dark, the music video is what inspired the Carlton dance on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I want to break free. I want to... Queen, one of the greatest bands of all time. Again, I think a lot of people think of Queen as a 70s band. A lot of their big hits were in the 70s, but they had some jams in the 80s, including I Want to Break Free, a great music video too. one of the many albums that Prince put together in 1984 that is off of the Ice Cream Castles album. That is Morris Day and the Time with Jungle Love. Another one, here's another one. I gotta crank it up every time it comes on. How many hit songs were there in the US that were in German? Only one that I can think of, 99 Luftballons by Nina. How many people were walking around saying this? I Feel For You, Chaka Khan, another Prince written song. This is, if you don't know, I Feel For You is originally a Prince song. Chaka Khan covered it and put it out in 1984. She does a great version of it. Another Prince written song, The Glamorous Life by Sheila E. Here it comes. Prince was a busy boy in 1984, I'll tell you that. You all know it, right? When Doves Cry, Prince, from the Purple Rain album. Purple Rain turns 40 this year, not just the album, but also the movie. And this is another album that was a monster. When Doves Cry, Purple Rain, Let's Go Crazy, Darling Nikki, Baby I'm a Star, I Would Die For You. Another album that is perfect from beginning to end. All right, that is gonna do it for this video, but we just barely scratched the surface, and you can only imagine how many amazing songs there were in 1984. So if you enjoyed this video, if it took you on a little trip down memory lane and you wanna see me do part 2, let me know and we can do part 2 and part 3 and part 4. I mean, there are so many amazing songs in 1984. We can just keep going and going. All right, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.